your detour. You took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong, Toyota Trucks.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Athletes know how important it is to stay hydrated. But did you know there are other ways to hydrate besides just drinking water? In fact, milk is a great hydration option because it actually contains water, as well as electrolytes that are lost when your body sweats. So consider taking milk along with you to your next game or competition and enjoy the taste of greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
You train, you sweat, you practice, you go for the gold, you give 110%, but most of all, you aim for greatness. And milk is the performance enhancer that can help get you to your goal. Trusted by athletes and backed by science, there's a healthy helping of greatness in every refreshing glass of milk. So let nature's original sports drink help quench your thirst for greatness. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process, is readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Gooding High School, round 2 of the 3A State Football Playoffs. Glad to have you aboard. My name is Scott Burton alongside my broadcast partner, Paul Kingsbury. Hey-o. We are just moments away from action tonight. It's going to be the home team, the Gooding Senators, taking on the Timberlake Tigers. Paul Gooding coming in with the number 2 ranking in 3A. Timberlake with the number 7 ranking in 3A.
That's right. And, of course, everything's being done with the Max Reps rankings based on the regular season rankings, and Gooding just has a very good football team. We say that every year, but they've got a lot of special players we'll be talking about on their team tonight. All right, in this audio broadcast, we will paint the pictures for you. It's going to be Timberlake kicking off to Gooding. Timberlake in their white tops and blue pants and gold helmets moving right to left, and Gooding in their black tops, white helmets, and white pants moving from left to right. And on the kickoff, not a whole lot of room for the return man. That's number 85, Gage Tiemann. But there was a flag thrown right at the hit as he got popped. And it's not going to be on the hit. It's going to be a holding call on the return against Gooding. So a penalty flag on the kickoff, and Gooding will be flagged for holding to start the game. Yeah, starting things off with a penalty. Like you said, there wasn't a great return. It was about 5 yards, but that's going to be even worse as they're going to go back even more. So it's going to start off 1st and 10 from their own 20 as we're just starting things off here in Gooding. Beautiful night for football. A little bit of clouds on the outside, but we're inside, so what does it matter, right?
That's exactly right. So Gooding will have it first down at the 19-yard line. This is the opening series for the Gooding Senators. Atkinson, the quarterback. Gooding rises and falls with Atkinson. Not only does he throw for a lot of yards, he's also the leading rusher on the team. And before the snap, we've got a penalty flag, and it's going to go against, it's going to go against Gooding, a false start.
Yep.
So Gooding has not run an offensive play, and they've already picked up 2 penalties.
Yeah, how about that? We're 5 seconds into the game, 2 penalties deep, and now instead of 1st and 20, it's now 1st, well, I guess it was 19, now it's 1st and 14. You and I are kind of tight in here tonight.
It is.
I like
a little
it.
Cozy. All right, here we go. Snap in the pitch. Right side, trying to turn the corner. And Timberlake there defensively. On the carry was Tate Gillette. Tate Gillette, 320 yards on the season, 4 touchdowns. But he's been a guy that Gooding is so glad to have back because he was injured for the longest time, and he makes a huge difference in this Gooding offense. Gain of a yard, same play, same pitch, right side. That's Gillette again as he's out across the 25. Gain of about 5 yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and short. Gooding working in this no-huddle offense, trying to set the tempo quickly.
Cale Paisley in on the tackle there, as well as a host of other Tigers.
3rd down and 4, we'll call it, for Gooding. 2 receivers to the far side of the field, and that's the wide side of the field. Atkinson in the gun. And Atkinson will call his own number and go right up the middle, running over Tigers as he does across the 35, and he's got a 1st down for Gooding.
And Curtis Atkinson, he's a veteran field general out here, and he's a big guy. He's Roethlisberger-like. You know, he's not going to outmaneuver, but if you need a couple yards, he can just put his head down and get those yards for you.
And on the 1st down play, here it is, a pitch to number 5. That's going to be Loveland. We're going to talk about him quite a bit tonight as he gets out across the 40 to about the 43, gain of 5, as Loveland is committed verbally to the University of Michigan.
Yeah. I'm out there talking to Coach Cameron, and all of a sudden he gets a phone call, and he just stops talking to me and takes Coach Harbaugh's call.
And on 2nd down, it's Gillette across midfield for a 1st down, but we do have a flag in the backfield of the Gooding Senators. Let's check the penalty before we move the sticks. And it's an illegal shift is the call against the Gooding Senators, so that will negate the 1st down run by Gillette. And Gooding will pick up their 3rd penalty of the game. Opening moments of the 1st quarter, 10:27 to go. 1st period action, no score.
I want to thank O'Malley, Super One Foods, Parker Toyota for sponsoring this webcast for Timberlake. Talk more about them as we go along.
2nd down and 10 after the penalty. And it will be that same formation. 2 receivers to the far side. And 1 receiver here to the near side. Gillette in the backfield with Atkinson. Atkinson to throw across the middle. He's got Loveland across midfield, spinning in and out of tackles. Still can't bring him down, and finally down to the 40-yard line of Timberlake. And what a grab by the big fella.
Loveland caught that at about the 48, made a spin move to his right, crossed the 45, and then drug everybody clear down to the 40-yard line.
And Gooding quickly to the line of scrimmage. The 40-yard line of Timberlake, a little double reverse action. Here goes number 32, Jacob Phillips, trying to turn a corner, breaks a tackle, breaks another, and inside the 30, gain of 14 yards and another 1st down for Gooding. They are on the move in the opening drive here from Gooding High School.
As he went around that left side, he just brushed away Rajani Oliveri. Tried to make the tackle, just put that left stiff arm down, went right by him.
Gooding again working in the no huddle. 2 receivers here to the near side, which is the wide side of the field. That's Loveland in the slot. Atkinson, quarterback draw all the way, gets to the 2nd level before being brought down just shy of the 20-yard line. Give him 6 on the play. 2nd down and 4 for Gooding.
Gave that little fake to the screen. Defense bit just a little bit. Enough for Atkinson to cut down the middle. Picked up about half of what he needed. 2nd and 5. Does it again, quarterback keeper.
And he's just a tough guy to bring down on the initial hit. But a good job by Timberlake.
James Billingsley looked like he got the second half of the tackle.
And a gain of a couple brings up 3rd and short, 3rd down and 2. Gooding again with 8:50 on the clock here in the first quarter. On the march as they have hit the red zone. 3rd and short for the Senators. 3 receivers into the formation. Atkinson to throw, looks left, fires out into the flat, and it's incomplete, in and out of the arms of Xander Gonzalez. Might have been just a little bit high, but a pass that Gonzalez probably should have caught. It'll bring up 4th down. Let's see what Gooding does here. They're trying to slow it down because they need a little time to think on this one. Clock is stopped, 8:36 to go. Bunch formation as the offense stays on the field. Atkinson, 4th and 3, calls his own number, just kind of goes student body left. He's got the first down, and then gang tackled at the 15-yard line.
You know, and that's something that they've gone to the last couple of years with him at the helm at quarterback, is a heavy dose of Atkinson. And they've got so many weapons that they can go to him. But like I said, he's a big guy. He's going to tire out early. And so that's not an option they can go to the entire game. But you know what? They have 1 or 2 other arrows in their quiver.
Well, he is the leading rusher for the Senators, 946 yards and 12 touchdowns. On the year, fresh set of downs, line of scrimmage right at the 16-yard line. Gooding knocking on the door. Snap to Atkinson. Fakes the handoff, goes right back up the middle, and a nice gain on first down as he gets inside the 10. Give him 7 yards on that carry. 2nd down and a long 3 upcoming for Gooding as they are inside the Timberlake 10-yard line.
Gooding able to move the football pretty well against Timberlake here early on, overcoming those 3 early penalties to get it inside the 10-yard line.
Clock is moving, 7:40 to play. Atkinson in the gun again, been working almost exclusively out of the gun. And once again, Atkinson just goes right back up the middle to about the 5-yard line. That's going to be close to the first down. It will depend on the spot, and it looks like he's going to have it. So 1st and goal for the Gooding Senators at the 5-yard line.
And Wyatt MacArthur, the linebacker inside, made that tackle. He's a big body to take down, and you need more than one guy to do it, which leaves other guys open.
That bunch formation again that Gooding ran on 4th down, and it's the same play. Atkinson just trying to follow his blockers to the goal line. The pile is still moving. No indication. It looks like he's going to be stopped short just at the 1, where it'll be 2nd and goal for Gooding at the 1-yard line.
Well, there was an indication. It was just Coach Anderson on the sideline. He's the only one that gave it.
Quickly to the line again. And there's the touchdown right there. Atkinson in from a yard out. And Gooding strikes first, taking the opening kickoff. 85 yards and hitting pay dirt with 6:50 to go in the quarter.
Yeah, Atkinson took that 2 yards. Kind of a little cha-cha slide. He slid to his left and then slid to his right. Walked into the end zone. Really didn't have too much contact on the way in. Just a lot of big bodies up front for the Senators allow him to do that. Going for 2 here in the shotgun again.
And that's Loveland there, who takes it around the left side, and he gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So with 6:50 to go here in the opening quarter, Gooding strikes first. They lead it 8-0.
Well, O'Malley's Sports Pub and Grill in Rathdrum's a proud supporter of the Timberlake Tigers. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. O'Malley's offers easy for me to say, delectable. Wow. I do this for a living.
Seriously?
Delectable. All-you-can-eat ribs on Thursday, slow-roasted prime rib on Friday, and a menu full of other favorites such as nachos, sandwiches, and burgers. I can say that. Stop in and visit them at 13742 West Highway 53 the next time you are in Rathdrum. Hey, giving us a shout-out out there.
I was just listening to that.
Why, we do thank you for tuning in and listening to the broadcast tonight. Tell you what, when Scott and I get together, it's either the best broadcast in the world or it goes off the rails quickly, and we just start, comparing everything to 80s songs.
Well, I liken it to the 2-hour weather delay we had at state baseball last spring.
Good times.
Yes, very good times. All right, underway, Gooding to kick it off. And this will be taken at the 5-yard line by Timberlake. And holy smokes, in from nowhere comes Butch Morris. to make the tackle shy of the 20-yard line. It looks like they're going to make the line of scrimmage right at the 20, but Timberlake will now have their chance on offense to try to answer that Gooding touchdown. 8-0 is your score, 6:44 to go, opening quarter.
And that was Olivieri, and he was coming through, and you can tell that kid's got a lot of speed. If he can get out into the open areas, but he went right up the middle and just collided into a lot of guys in black jerseys. But he looks like he could be a weapon on that kick return.
Padel is the quarterback, and he will work out of the gun, handoff. Right side, big hole, and then tripped up just shy of the 30 is number 44, James Billingsley, the senior. Nice gain on first down. We'll give him 9, second down and 1. And that's one thing Timberlake is going to do is they're going to run a lot of that double wing type of stuff, which, depending on the discipline level of the defense, could really present problems no matter how good you are. And we know Gooding is good.
Absolutely.
Second down and 1. Patel out of the gun. Handoff. Right side, this is Tyler Went. Went's got the first down out to about the 35-yard line. Sticks are going to move. Fresh set of downs.
Trevor Cady in there on the defense did a little somersault there at the end, tripped over somebody, kind of stood up and said, "I'm good." That's right. You're talking about Billingsley. He's one of those special players that don't come along too often. He leads the team in tackles with 92 tackles coming in, and he also leads the team in rushing with 550 yards. So, one of those guys on both sides of the ball that plays most of the minutes of the football game.
Two running backs behind Padel. Padel, before he can hand it off, there will be whistles that will stop the play. And there will be a penalty flag. Offsides is the call against Gooding. So 1st and 10 turns into 1st and 5 for Timberlake. And so far in this first quarter, Gooding has not shied away from the penalty flags.
No. That's their 4th penalty here in the first quarter, and we're only about halfway done with it.
First down and 5. Padel to pass, play action. He's got lone coverage, right side, and it's caught. Holy crap, what a catch by Zach Yetter. Yetter was blanketed by number 23, Taylor Cavett, but it was just a matter of who wanted the ball most. And Timberlake comes away with it, first down into Gooding territory at the 25.
Cavett didn't have his eye on the ball. He was playing great defense, great coverage defense, and the receiver knew exactly where that ball was, so he turned to the ball. The ball hit the defender, goes up in the air, it gets juggled, and he comes down with just a spectacular catch.
I think I just said, holy crap.
That's okay. We've said worse.
First down from the 25 of Gooding. Handoff. Right side goes number 44, James Billingsley, and he gets a couple before he is lit up by that Gooding defense. And Atkinson in on that tackle for Gooding. Gain of maybe 2, 1.5, as it will be second down for Timberlake. Timberlake will huddle. The clock is moving, 4.5 to play, opening quarter. Gooding on top, 8-0. Gooding scored on their first offensive drive. Timberlake trying to answer, and they're just outside the red zone at the 24, second down. A little read option, handoff. That's going to be Billingsley again, who's going to be the workhorse tonight in that fullback position. And he gets a couple is all. 3rd down and 5 upcoming for Timberlake Tigers.
Cooper Pavkov on the tackle there. That handoff was delayed just a little bit. It wasn't really clean and got off, so that gave Pavkov just that extra second to get in there and make that tackle.
Well, Gooding's defense is stout. They have got size, and they stop the run well. They're fake to Billingsley, pitch to the outside, and there is room. And a first down and a broken tackle inside the 10. Goes Cale Pasley, and he's finally stopped at about the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Timberlake.
They had me faked out. I thought Billingsley was actually going through the line. All of a sudden, the option went out around the corner. Picks up first down.
Yeah, Gooding collapsed on that initial dive on Billingsley, and that left Pasley wide open around that right side. And now it's 1st and goal, Timberlake from the Gooding 5. Hand off, Billingsley over left tackle, legs churning to the goal line. Touchdown. 5 yards away, Billingsley evens the score.
Oh, he came in like a wrecking ball, just put his head down, crashed through everybody. got across the goal line, and now they have a chance to tie it up, at least keep it within 2. But, Gooding's one of those teams where you don't want to get down a couple of scores to them. You need to keep it back and forth or up. When you get too big of a hole, they're hard to come back on.
And it looks like Timberlake is going to go for 2, try to tie this thing up. Billingsley, the handoff to the goal line, good. Boy, that was just really easy. Billingsley is a big fella, and he's a tough one to bring down. And so, with 3:19 to go in the opening quarter, Timberlake ties it up. We are knotted at 8.
Stick around at halftime. We're going to look at the bracket, kind of see how teams got here, where they're going. We did have one of the 3A quarterfinals last night with Sugar Salem coming back and beating Marsh Valley. Of course, Sugar Salem, the 3-time state champions, beating Homedale all 3 of those years. So, there's nothing more Homedale would like than to see Sugar Salem get knocked off. But if Homedale wins tomorrow, they host South Fremont in Homedale tomorrow at 1. They get to play Sugar in the semis. So it's not going to be a Homedale Sugar championship like it has the last 3 years. The best they can get is in the quarters. And, some people are saying that, the winner of that could move on and take it. But, boy, in that bottom bracket, you've got Gooding, of course, Timberlake, Weiser, Snake River going on tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of good teams in the 3A this year.
A lot of great teams in the 3A. And this one in the opening moments here of the first quarter shaping up to be a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Tied at 8. Moving right to left, Timberlake will kick it off. And the kickoff just rolls and stops at the 1-yard line, and then finally picked up by Gooding, and they only get out to the 10-yard line. They were waiting for that thing to go out of bounds, and it just never did.
Yeah, it just kept hugging the sideline.
Yeah, Tiemann just followed it down the sideline because it really hit at about the 25, and it looked like it was going to scoot out of bounds, but it just kept rolling down the sideline. And finally, Tiemann picked it up at the 1 because that's where it was going to stop and managed to get it out to about the 11-yard line. And that's where Gooding's going to have it to start. 1st and 10 from their own 11. Atkinson working out of the gun. And now he changes the formation. Little bunch formation, trips right, handoff. This is going to be Gillette. Gillette hit and chased immediately and brought down. Very little gain for Gillette as Timberlake was there defensively. We'll give him a couple on the play, maybe 3. 2nd down and 7. Gooding will remain in that no-huddle offense.
Here, shout out to Lauren Jensen out listening
Nice.
in Eastern Idaho. He's running tech for us tonight.
Atkinson, handoff, left side. And that's tough sledding for Gooding. That's going to be Gillette. Gillette close to the 1st down out across the 20. He'll be short. 3rd down and a long one. Short 2 upcoming for Gooding. And again, quickly to the line. And this is where we've seen Atkinson just kind of take the snap and fall forward.
Yep.
And that's exactly what he's going to do. Takes the snap, goes to the left side, has the 1st down, and gets out across the 25.
Yeah, got the 1st down. He got about 5 yards total on that play. So just falling forward, he just has to go a couple of yards, fall forward as, 6'2", 6'3", fall forward to get 2 yards.
Yeah, and not just a tall kid, but a big, thick kid. He's just a tough guy to bring down one-on-one.
Neither one of these rosters have height and weight. You need to talk to these guys and say, hey.
You're no kidding. I had to redo the Gooding roster. I'm going to have a little chat with Logan.
Was it Cameron or Logan that did it?
Well, I don't know. One of those two need to learn roster 101. And here goes Atkinson again. Oh, my goodness. Atkinson just running over people at midfield and gets into Timberlake territory. Again, another quarterback draw by Atkinson, and it's not like he's trying to avoid people. I think he's looking for people, and he found a Timberlake defender in the secondary and depleted him at midfield before the rest of the troops for Timberlake brought him down at the 49. And it looked like the guy that took the punishment there was Vollier. 1st down, Atkinson to throw. Looking for Loveland, got him at the 30. Loveland still trying to fight forward, gets ahead down to the 26-yard line, and another big gain for the Gooding Senators. They move the sticks, and they're on the march again.
And Loveland just reached up for that one, took all of his 6'4"-ish frame. And then he landed. He wasn't easy to tackle. He put that one hand down, stayed on his feet, picked up another 4 yards.
First down, Atkinson out of the gun again, flanked to the left by Tate Gillette. 2 receivers left. Loveland in motion. He'll take the toss, trying to turn the corner. Left side, breaks 1 tackle, spins, and is brought down at the 20-yard line. Nice gain of about 6 or 7, depending on the spot. 35 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
I thought they were going to give him more than that. I thought it was going to be close to 8 yards, but yeah, you're right. Ended up giving him 6 yards on that play.
Clock continues to run. 25 seconds left in the opening period. We are tied at 8. Atkinson out of the gun. Loveland in motion. And we're going to have flags, and I think they're going to let the play develop or not. I'm not quite sure. Nope. And it's going to go against Gooding. Another false start, their 5th penalty of this opening period.
Yeah, and one was on the opening kickoff. The second was the first play of the drive. So they
had 2 penalties before they even ran an offensive play. And this one will push Gooding back. The line of scrimmage now is going to be the 25, where it's going to be 2nd down and 8. And this may be the end of the quarter, as I don't think Gooding is going to run anything, and that will do it. The first quarter comes to a close, and it's everything we would have hoped for, tied at 8. We'll step away and be right back to Gooding High School after this.
Dear Detour, you took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up, so yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong, Toyota trucks.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
One quarter in the books here from Gooding High School. Timberlake and Gooding all tied at 8. The winner to move on to the state semifinal and play the winner of Weiser and Snake. That game kicking off in about half an hour from now.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game there in Weiser. I was at Weiser last week. Just a great atmosphere there. And, of course, it's Jeb Harrison versus Dad Tom Harrison.
It is. That's quite the storyline.
Jeb's home field at Snake River is named after his dad, who is now at Weiser. No pressure there, huh?
None. 2nd down and 8 for Atkinson. Atkinson toss. This is Cavett. Cavett trying to turn the corner. Right side, gets inside the 20, breaks a tackle, breaks another. To the goal line, touchdown Cavett. 24 yards away, breaking a couple of tackles as he took the sweep around the right side. And just some poor tackling on Timberlake's part allowed Cavett to get into the end zone.
Well, Cavett got to that far sideline a little bit quicker than I think the safeties thought he would. And then when he breaks up field, you're right, they just could not wrap him up. He goes in that 24 yards, nice little scamper, one little high step into the end zone. Wasn't egregious, right?
Wasn't egregious.
Let him have some fun. Gets into the end zone, makes it 14-8.
And now we'll go for 2. And this is going to be Atkinson to the end zone, piece of cake, and 2 more on the board, 16-8, 11:51, and Gooding back out on top.
Well, as Super One Foods, compromise is not an option. We set the standard. Number 1, they have lower prices, and number 2, they make your dollars stretch further. Visit any Super One Foods in Rathdrum, Hayden, Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, Sandpoint, or Bonners Ferry, and you'll see the Super One Foods sets the standard.
Gooding 16, Timberlake 8.
Well, defense is optional so far here in the first half, as every drive has resulted in touchdowns. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. And Gooding will kick it off. They are moving now right to left in front of us. And that kick will go out of bounds at around the 5-yard line. So 35-yard line will be the line of scrimmage for Timberlake. They will take over to see if they can once again match the offense of the Gooding Senators.
I'd like to thank our major sponsors here tonight. Of course, the Idaho Division of Public Health, your local Toyota dealer, Valleywide Co-op and Country Stores, and Project Filters. Stop smoking, start living. Always good advice.
Always. All right, Timberlake. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Opening moments of the second quarter. Gooding on top, 16-8. Handoff, Billingsley, left side. Tries to bounce it out. Gooding there defensively very nicely. Open field tackle made by Colston Loveland, and I'm not sure Billingsley got much on that, maybe a yard.
Yeah, not much of anything. Looks like they are going to give him 1 yard. As soon as he hit that left gap, he just got absolutely surrounded. And even though he's a big, strong runner, can't run against 6 guys like that.
So breaking huddle is Timberlake. They will take their time. They just can't get into a shootout with Gooding. Little crossbuck action, and the handoff goes to MacArthur, and MacArthur runs into a wall on that left side and maybe picks up another yard, and that's it. It'll be 3rd down and long for Timberlake.
Well, they keep testing the fence on that left side. They've gone that way 2 times and picked up about 1.5 yards each time, and at some point, I don't know if they're going to break on that side or if they're going to go, all right, we're going to go to the right this time or try something else. But that right side of the defensive line, like you said before, is just a very stout defense.
3rd down and 7. Padel to throw. And on the return, Gooding gets out across the 30 to about the 34.
Not a bad punt. Went about 30, 35, 40 yards.
And Gooding leading South Fremont and then to Lakeland mid-season, and Lakeland is 4A. Otherwise, this Timberlake team has got an impressive win line. You know, Timberlake coming out of that Intermountain League up north with 6-2 record. Kellogg a 6-3 record. Bonners Ferry a 4-4 record. Mark him just a little bit short, 2nd down and less than a yard for Gooding. Line of scrimmage, the 42. Atkinson out of the gun, flanked by...
You saw 4 or 5 guys just switch, move, mix, match, get to where they needed to be. But again, they held him to 3 yards, which normally would be great, but they only needed about 1 for that first down. And I'm going to run it. You just have to stop me.
And if you can get 5 or 6, and they'll give him 6 on this one,
yeah,
that makes it a pretty good play. And you can see why Atkinson is the leading rusher on this team. 946 yards, 12 touchdowns. And his production is an average of 118. Olsen gets to the 2nd level and has a 1st down inside the 45. Good push by that offensive line, especially on that right side, that allowed Olsen to the line again, fresh set of downs, 1st down. Line of scrimmage is the 43-yard line. Trips left for Atkinson. Olsen in the backfield with Atkinson. Atkinson to throw. Looks left to the trip side. Going up top, going deep into double coverage, and it's picked off. Ill-advised throw by Atkinson, and Timberlake will have the football on the turnover, intercepted by number 27, Olivier. We just called his number, and Olivier was in perfect position as they had the receiver on that near side just completely sandwiched, and Olivier saw it right from the start, made the interception, and returns it back to the 30-yard line. So it'll be 1st down Timberlake from their own 30 following the turnover.
You know, that's a huge break for Timberlake. When you're playing Gooding, you really have to hope that they make mistakes and get your offense back out on the field. That's exactly what happened. They're not going to do it often, so they need to take advantage of it when they get it.
Patel hands off. This is Pasley. And Pasley maybe a yard on that left side. And, you know, and again, they are really trying to hammer that left side, and they're not having a whole lot of luck right now. Only a yard on that play.
Yeah, that left side, again, we talked about they're just going to keep testing the fence, but at some point you keep butting your head against a wall too many times. You just might want to do something different.
For Olivier, that was his 5th interception on the year. Second down. To throw is Patel. Patel looks left side and nearly has that one picked off. He had nowhere to go with it. In on the coverage for Gooding was Xander Gonzalez as the pass sailed high of everybody, but there were more Gooding Senators. Right again, going up top, and he has Olivier, and he overthrew him again. Actually, that's not Olivier. That is number 4, Zach Yetter. And Yetter was covered well. Maybe he had a step. It was going to take a perfect throw to get it there, and now it's 4th and long, and Timberlake squanders the turnover and will have to kick it right back to Gooding.
And Yetter came up that left side, then cut across the middle, and if he would have hit him on that cross route, I think it would have been okay, but he went deep, overthrew him by a good 5-6 yards. No way he could get to it. And Yetter leads the team in receptions, 36 for 432 yards. So he's a guy that can catch. Just got to get it to him.
Cavett and Smith are back to receive the punt, and this is Cavett. Cavett breaks one tackle at the 35 and then run out of bounds into the Gooding bench at the 45. So a nice return and a good field, short field for Gooding as they will take over. They lead it 16-8, 7:52 to go here, second quarter action.
As he caught that football, there was actually a defender right in his face. He gave a little hop, went right by him, ran into actually one of his teammates who ended up being his blocker to get those 10 yards on the return. So yeah, here on the left hash, near hash, 45-yard line, great field position for Gooding to start things off after that interception, getting it back. Throw an interception, last thing you want to do is let him score a touchdown, and they end up getting it back.
And a good job by the defense of the Gooding Senators. Back to the action. 2 receivers, far side. And we've got Loveland here on the near side. And a timeout taken by Gooding.
Yeah, they did a hard count, didn't get it, and Coach Anderson took an immediate timeout to talk things over. So 1st and 10 from the 45. They're out there taking a timeout. Let's go ahead and thank Steve's Quick Service here in Gooding. They're a proud sponsor of Gooding Athletics. Steve's Quick Service is a locally owned and operated business that proudly serves the Gooding area, offering complete auto services at competitive rates. Contact Steve's for all your automotive needs at 208-595-1213. Go Senators from Steve's Quick Service.
A lot of football happening tonight as we are in the throes of the playoffs. And all you have to do is go to IdahoSports.com, find your team, find your game, and it'll be there for you. We have got a lot of teams and broadcast teams out covering the Friday Night Lights tonight. I think we have like 125 games that we're covering tonight.
It seems like it. Boy, this week getting ready for all those games, it really seemed like it. Or I think we've got, I can't remember, 16 games tonight, 15 games tonight, some tomorrow. We had one last night.
That's crazy.
A lot of stuff going on.
Coverage like no other. Atkinson on first down, calls his own number around the left side and nowhere to go there. Good defense by Timberlake. Leading the way is Wyatt MacArthur for the Tigers. Gain of a yard at best for Atkinson. And Gooding to the line once again. Bunch formation, Atkinson out of the gun, calls his own number, goes right up the middle, has some room, running over Timberlake Tigers into Tiger territory, and a first down. Gain of 14 on the play, and the sticks move one more time for Kimberly as for Gooding as Atkinson just rolls over people.
And you mentioned they were in that bunch formation, so you knew that's exactly what was going to happen, and they just couldn't stop it.
And they're in that same formation again. And this time it's a direct snap to Loveland. Loveland's got room. Loveland sidesteps a tackler, gets inside the 35, gain of 8.
And I like that little wildcat. If they don't overuse it, they can use it as often as they wanted to. But Coach Anderson doesn't go to it all the time, but it's there. It's there, and it keeps the defense honest.
MacArthur with the tackle for Timberlake. Same formation. Atkinson this time right up the middle to the 30, and it's going to be close to the first down. He needed 2, and they're going to give him 2.5 and move the chains.
Close counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and first downs.
First down for Gooding at the Timberlake 30-yard line. Staying exclusively with this same bunch formation. Atkinson out of the gun, flanked by 3 running backs. This time on direct snap, Loveland. Loveland bounces off the pile, gets inside the 25, and we have a penalty flag. And it's going to be a false start called against Gooding. That will negate the 7-yard run by Colston Loveland. So another penalty on Gooding. Will push the line of scrimmage back to the 35, where it will be first down and 15.
Timberlake running a clean game so far. No penalties for them.
Same bunch formation. Snap to Atkinson. Atkinson around the left side, just kind of picking his way through traffic. Gets inside the 30, down to the 27. Give him 8 on the carry. It'll bring up second down and about 7.
8-yard pickup, second and 7.
Quickly to the line. Exclusively in this formation are the Gooding Senators.
Now I can see outside the window.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I was a Boy Scout.
I was until they asked me to leave. Atkinson takes the snap, trying to pick his way around that left side, and there is nowhere to go as Timberlake was ready.
On that tackle, Billingsley again getting one of those big tackles, leads the team. He's going to be, well, comes in with 92. He's going to be well over 100 by the end of this game.
Third down.
No gain on the play. Third down and 8 upcoming for Gooding. And like we've said, they have stayed in this formation nearly this entire drive. Long count. Atkinson out of the gun. A little double reverse. Loveland's got it, picks up a block. Tight ropes down the sideline before he's run out of bounds inside the 20, and that's a first down for Gooding.
It's actually like a little triple reverse in there as the handoff, then went to the right, that came back to the left to Loveland. Good job by Timberlake to actually stay where they needed to be and not give up a touchdown.
So first down, line of scrimmage is the 15-yard line. Gooding knocking on the door. They're in the red zone again. Atkinson flanked by Gillette to his left. Gillette will get the call up the middle, breaks a tackle, breaks another one down to the goal line and stopped just shy. Brought down at the 1, and it will be first and goal Gooding at the 1-yard line.
So 4:30, quick first half here as the clock continues to run.
First and goal from the 1, handoff Gillette. Gillette to the end zone, touchdown.
So the lead goes to 22-8. As we talked about in the first quarter, Gooding's not a team that you want to get too far behind on. They're not easy to come back.
So Gooding does push it out to a 2-score game. They will go for 2. Direct snap, Loveland does not get there. Good job defensively by Timberlake to shut down the 2-point conversion, but adds 6 more. And Gooding, with 4:21 to go before the break, they extend the lead 22-8.
Well, Parker Toyota has been serving the good folks of Coeur d'Alene for over 3 decades. People constantly tell them they enjoy dealing with their locally owned, no-problem dealership. With hundreds of new and used cars, you'll find the right vehicle to meet your specific needs and fit your budget as well. From small economy cars to award-winning mid and full-size sedans, SUVs, and even minivans, Parker Toyota has the Tundra truck. It pulled the space shuttle so it can tow your trailer or boat. Rather shop from home? You can. Just pull up your computer and check out their new and used inventory at ParkerToyota.com. New cars, used cars, or maintenance service, visit Parker Toyota, corner of Kathleen and Highway 95. Discover for yourself the no-problem difference at Parker Toyota.
All right, Gooding to kick it off again. Moving right to left in front of us. And this kick will be taken at the 5 by Olivier. Olivier breaks one tackle. He's got some speed. He's out in the open. Olivier across midfield. Olivier stumbles at the 45-yard line, or he may have taken that thing to the house, but he got going so fast that his feet couldn't quite catch up to his legs.
I think Malcolm, as he fell across midfield, as he was falling, might have actually reached up and just touched his leg just enough to trip him up and save that touchdown. That or he tripped over the paint. I'm not sure which it was.
I think it's 50-50 on that one. But a great return by Olivier into Gooding territory. They'll have it first down from the Senator 41-yard line. Desperately trying to answer as they are behind 2 scores. And to throw is Patel. Patel left side complete. And we've got a foot race down the sideline. And boy, and this is not going to end well for Gooding. Touchdown.
42-yard pass completion.
Zach Yetter. And that was just a simple little out route into the flat, but Yetter turned on the jets. And I don't know if anybody saw that he had that kind of speed as he just outran the defense. Gooding not getting there defensively. And here we are, one play, and it's a 41-yard touchdown pass.
Well, that's what they needed. They needed to score, and they needed to score quickly. With 4 minutes left, that's where they stopped the 2-point conversion. You know, every point matters in a game like this.
And now the 2-point conversion. Handoff, Billingsley, legs churning, and he did not get it.
Boy, he got stopped right at the line. Nice job by number 50 in there, Sam Demelli.
But that did not take long. It took 19 seconds for Timberlake to respond. A great kickoff return, and then on the very first play, it was Patel to Yetter, 41 yards, and Timberlake has cut it back to a 1-score game. 4:02 to go. Before the break, 22-14 Timberlake.
Make sure you stick around after the break at halftime, and we will kind of go over the bracket, look and see where the teams were last week and where the winners are going to be next week. Of course, the semis next week, and then all the marbles. Championship weekend after that, and Idaho Sports is going to be everywhere next week and, of course, the week after that. Kind of like Johnny Cash. He's been everywhere.
Everywhere, man.
In fact, in that song, reminds me.
Yes.
He says Spirit Lake, which is where Timberlake is.
Wow.
So Johnny Cash has been in Spirit Lake, or at least he was in the song.
I was going to say.
Rexburg's mentioned in there. He's a big Idaho fan.
Who isn't, though?
Fan. That's true.
All right, Timberlake to kick it off, moving left to right. White jerseys, blue pants, gold helmets.
Joe Biden? Probably not a huge Idaho fan.
Probably not. And on the return, we've got a big return for Gooding. This is number 85. Tiemann. Tiemann gets it into Timberlake territory. Knocked out of bounds at the 46. And we've got a flag sitting way back, and it's going to be a hold against Gooding. Another penalty. This one taking away fantastic starting field position for the Senators.
Boy, and Tiemann was just knocking guys over like bowling pins. Just stiff arm, down. Picked up huge yards, got into Timberlake territory, and it's nothing more disheartening than turning around and seeing the official waving and saying, "Come on back, boys, come on back."
I mean, that results in a difference of 30 yards of field position.
Yeah, it's huge.
So instead of taking over in Timberlake territory, Gooding will start from their own 24. 3:53 on the clock here before the break. Atkinson hands off, left side, Gillette. Gillette breaks one tackle, passes to the outside, breaks another inside the 40, brought down at the 38. Gain of 15 on the play. And Gooding chews up a good chunk of yardage on first down.
Boy, and Gillette got away with one there. He moved about a quarter of a second before the snap. The officials let it go, didn't see it, don't know which one, but I was expecting a flag to be seen, but that little quarter of a second, that got him exactly what he needed.
Ball out to the 42 of Gooding. Fake toss, Atkinson calls his own number and gets across midfield. Boy, I'm not sure he was even touched until he got 9 yards down the field. And that's what they're going to give him on the gain, 9 yards. 2nd down and 1 as Gooding has moved into Timberlake territory. Line of scrimmage, the Timberlake 49.
Joel Possinger in there on that tackle.
Handoff, Gillette's got the first down. Gillette just keeps his legs going. Gang tackle, and a helmet comes flying off, and that's Gillette's helmet, and he's not happy.
Well, it didn't come flying off. It got yanked off. That's what he's upset about. He's going to have to come off.
Yeah, that helmet coming off a player means he has to come off the field. The officials are talking about something, but I don't think there's going to be a penalty flag. It was just some rough play.
He's not coming off yet.
In the middle of that scrum, and now the white hat Kenny Lively sends him to the sideline.
And he's like, it's not my fault. They literally took my helmet off.
I tell you what, you want to slow down a player, rip off his helmet, get him out for a play.
Yeah, that's going to make his ears ring for a little while.
Austin Olson replaces him, but Gillette picked up the first down. First down, Senators from the Timberlake 45. Trips right. Atkinson takes the snap, hands off Olson. Olson, nowhere to go. Hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage.
That was Amari James. Amari James just wrapped him up, hit him immediately, gain of maybe a foot and a half. Nope, they actually take it back, so it's about a 6-inch gain.
So 2nd down and 9 3/7/8, whatever.
Math is hard.
Toss left side, Olson. Olson fights his way down to about the 41. Give him 4 on the play, maybe 5, depending on the spot. It'll bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it 5.
Cale Pasley actually got up limping a little bit for Timberlake. There on that right side. Stays in. Goes the outside linebacker spot.
Trips right, single receiver, left side, and that single receiver is Cavett. Cavett looking for the pass from Atkinson, and it's overshot. Good defense and coverage by Timberlake. As on the coverage is, guess who? Olivier.
Boom, boom, boom.
So Olivier. They tried to bunch the trip receivers to the right side and then bring Cavett single coverage on Olivier, and Olivier was right with him the whole time. Now it's 4th and 5. Gooding will keep the offense on the field. This is Colston Loveland trying to turn the corner left side, short side of the field. It's going to be close. Run out of bounds near the 35. It will depend on the spot. And the way they're looking at it, I don't think they got it. They didn't. They kept Loveland a yard short, and Gooding will turn it over on downs.
Tell you what, that is called a win, Scott, for that Timberlake defense to stop, not only stop Gooding, but to stop Loveland on that drive.
Well, the thing is, they ran that little toss to the short side of the field. It was 4th down and 5, and they just kind of ran Loveland out of bounds. And I'm not so sure Loveland didn't fight as much as he could have or should have on a 4th down play, and he just sort of let the defenders run him out of bounds, and Timberlake takes over on downs.
As you're coming to that left side, you're on the opposite side of the flag, so maybe he just didn't see where he was at.
Padel to throw. Had a man, and it was underthrown but dropped. Getting behind the defense was number 34, Wyatt MacArthur, and Padel didn't quite get it all there, but that's a pass MacArthur should have caught at the Gooding 35-yard line.
And that's a couple that have gone to MacArthur that, boy, he really wishes he had a second chance on. He's just a fast receiver, gets in front of the defense, and if those passes are just on the money a little bit more, if he can get his hands around it, that's a couple of touchdowns that they've missed.
Well, and Timberlake has been able to exploit Gooding through the air. Padel to throw again on 2nd down. Looks right, now flushed out of the pocket, running to his left. Fires it into coverage, and a diving catch was made. Unbelievable. On the far side, Zachy Yetter, and that was just more or less Padel throwing it away. Yetter lays out for it, picks up 15 yards, and a 1st down. 1:27 to go before the break. Line of scrimmage now, the Gooding 40. Quickly to the line goes Timberlake. And a timeout taken. This will be called by Timberlake. But boy, what a play on that far side is Padel dropped back to pass, looked to his right, got pressure, ran to his left, And he had a man over there in Zach Yetter who was just blanketed by somebody and really just tried to throw it over his head, but Yetter turned on a couple of sprint speed steps and then just laid out and made the catch.
Yeah, he shifted into a different gear, and I did not think he was going to get that. He laid out like a center fielder to catch that football. There's a spectacular dive and catch.
Well, I tell you what, Timberlake is finding something here with Yetter and Olivier getting behind the defense because of their speed. Now, the question is going to be whether or not they can buy Padel enough time to make the throw.
I think on all of the pass routes tonight, they have gotten behind the defense almost every time. So that's a big chink in the armor of the Gooding Senators tonight, and Timberlake really needs to exploit that.
So now if you're Gooding, do you bring more guys, more blitz packages, and lock up single coverage on the outside? What do? Padel, hands off. Big hole right side. Billingsley, we haven't called his name in a while, and he gets a first down to the Gooding 25.
Picked up about 15 yards on that.
A minute and change, clock continues to run. Timberlake quickly to the line. 2 receivers left. Handoff, Billingsley. Stiff arms one guy and gets to the outside. Inside the 20-yard line he goes. A nice gain on first down. And we'll give him 8. And the clock will stop at 1:02 as I think there was another timeout called. And it will be by Timberlake, and that will be their second charged timeout of the half.
Boy, that stiff arm was against Brooks Norby, the senior for Gooding. He got stiff armed. He just kind of laid there and watched the play happen as it ran away from him, then got up and pulled the turf out of his face mask and jogged over. So, yeah, a minute 2 left in this first half. Boy, Timberlake would love nothing more than come in and tie this thing up, only be down by a couple points going into halftime. That's a great position for them to be in.
And this is a huge momentum swing right here for Timberlake if they can punch this thing in. Gooding, up 2 scores, had the football and was driving before they turned it over. And Gooding's turned it over twice. They turned it over via an interception in Timberlake territory and on downs. And that has kept Timberlake alive here in the first half. 1:02 to go before the break. Timberlake with the football. 2nd down and 3. Line of scrimmage is 17. Padel to throw. Has time. Over the middle. Intercepted. He just hung that up there, and it's picked up by Gooding. On the return for Gooding, out to the 40-yard line, is going to be Tiemann. And that it was Gage Tiemann. And, Paul, that was just a pass that was just floated. And we've got penalty flags. This after the play, I believe. As you can hear the crowd fall silent.
Yeah, the flag was in the end zone.
Well, if the flag's in the end zone, that does not bode well for Gooding.
No.
And everybody here has quieted down, and all eyes are down on the field and watching the officials to see what the call is.
Well, if history is our guide, it's going to be against Gooding tonight. And the quarterback, Padel, he's the one that ended up making that tackle. And the sticks aren't moving, so.
Nope, and Gooding has retreated just a little bit. No indication yet from the officials. This could wipe away a big interception by Tiemann.
Well.
And here's the call. Looks like it looks like a target. I mean, it was a targeting call. A hit to the head. I mean, they use that sign as targeting in college. And it's going against Gooding, but it looks like it's coming after the interception because they just signaled first down Gooding.
Yes, it was after the interception as he came around. As soon as he made his move, then it was just an unnecessary hit.
Okay, so that is going to be the call. Now it is all cleared up.
Yep.
The penalty happened after the interception, and it's targeting or a
hit to the head.
Hit to the head or whatever you want to call it against Gooding. They will keep possession of the football. And that was a huge stop for the Gooding Senators. 51 seconds to go before the break, and Timberlake looked like they were looking to tie it up. Now Gooding will have it with 51 seconds. Let's see what they dial up. They will send 2 receivers here to the near side. That's going to be the wide side of the field. Loveland is one of them. As there are 2 receivers for Gooding and 3 defenders. They are not taking any chances. Now Gooding will walk out trips. Gooding is trying to find a matchup here with these trips in single coverage, and now there's all kinds of confusion. And Cameron Anderson is out on the football field, and he wants to have a discussion with the white hat.
Yep.
Well, it was a short discussion, and now both teams will line back up and we'll do it again. So here we go. Trips here to the near side of the field. The middle receiver is Colston Loveland. Everybody is locked up single coverage in this trip formation. No safety help. So this will be interesting to see what happens here. Atkinson out of the gun. Atkinson to throw. Atkinson going over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And the crowd here wanted a flag thrown for interference, but it was just thrown behind him a little bit. He really didn't have not much of a case to call for that.
No, Jacob Phillips was the intended receiver.
Number 9, Dale Pasley.
And Pasley there on coverage, but Gooding will come right back to, it looks like, the same formation. 46 seconds to go before the half. Gooding has it at their own 27-yard line following the interception by Tiemann. 2nd and 10. Trips here to the near side. Colston Loveland, the middle receiver. Atkinson to throw. Atkinson fires it up into double coverage, and it's picked off again. Olivier has his 2nd of the game. Into Gooding territory, the speed of Olivier. He's still on his feet. Inside the 30, out of bounds, near the 25-yard line with 34 seconds left, and all of a sudden, Timberlake has life again.
And that ball was just underthrown. Olivier had to actually stop and wait for it to catch it. It was double coverage, but the receiver and the first defender kept going. Olivier just turned around and said, I'm just go ahead and catch this thing. And a return goes back almost to what the original line of scrimmage was for Gooding. And here they are, 1st and 10 at just across, the 27-yard line? So 31 seconds.
Yeah, so the only thing lost there was about 20 seconds on the clock. Now Timberlake's got it again. 31 seconds to go. 1st down from the 27. Handoff up the middle. Billingsley hits a wall, fights forward for a couple of yards. And the clock will stop on a timeout. And I believe if this is Timberlake's, it is their last timeout of the half.
That was the great wall of Dakota Sage, number 57 for Gooding. He just lit him up as soon as he touched him.
Billingsley able to fight forward for about 4 yards on the play. Timberlake will burn their final timeout. 26 seconds to go before the break. And what an opportunity here for the Timberlake Tigers.
Well, Super One Foods, compromise is not an option. They set the standard. Number 1, they have lower prices. And number 2, they make your dollar stretch further. Visit any Super One Foods in Rathdrum, Hayden, Coeur d'Alene, and Post Falls, Sandpoint, or Bonners Ferry, and you'll see Super One Foods sets the standard. Go Tigers. Rawr.
Oh, that's nice.
It's not really written in there. I just added bonus, no extra charge. Super One Foods does a lot for all the teams up there, all the schools. One of those big boosters up there.
Huge booster. Well, just setting the stage here for the final 26 seconds of the first half. It's been a turnover fest here in the last couple of minutes. And most of it done by Gooding. Gooding's got 3 turnovers here in the first half, 2 interceptions and a turnover on downs. And now Timberlake has it 2nd down and 6 from the Gooding 23. Now Timberlake is out of timeouts now. They have to be careful. Out of the gun, Padel. Yetter breaks a tackle and then goes down quickly, and Timberlake has got to hustle to the line. Maybe 2 on the play. Clock is continuing to run, and now it stops. And a timeout taken. And I beg your pardon, Timberlake did have 1 more, it appeared, and they will now burn it with 16 seconds left. 22-14 is your score. Line of scrimmage is going to be the 23, 3rd down and 6. So back out of the timeout comes Timberlake. 16 seconds on the clock. And we're trying to get both teams set here. From the 23 of Gooding, Padel to throw. Going up top, has a man. Incomplete and out of the end zone. Good coverage on the far side.
It was good coverage, but the ball landed outside the back of the end zone. Just another overthrow by the quarterback.
Yetter, the intended receiver. And that's what Timberlake's going to have to do here on 4th down, is take another shot at the end zone. And if you're Gooding, just don't let dudes behind you. 12 seconds on the clock, and it's 4th down for Timberlake. To the line. Padel out of the gun, Padel to throw. Has time, flush to his left. Now he's on the run, and he's hit and dropped and run out of bounds, and Gooding defensively comes up with a stop. Padel had all kinds of time, but Gooding would not allow anybody to break free in the secondary. Padel had to scramble to his left. By that time, the Gooding pressure got to him, and the sack made it around the 30-yard line, and Timberlake turns it over on downs with 4 seconds to go before the break.
Oh, that's a big missed opportunity. 4 seconds. I mean, it's nothing terrible right now, obviously 22-14. But, boy, you get that many chances, you just really want to walk away with some points.
So Gooding will just take a knee here and then go into the locker room with an 8-point lead, and that's what they'll do. So we have reached the half here at Gooding High School in this quarterfinal game, and it's a pretty good one so far.
Not bad.
Into the locker room we go. Gooding on top, 22-14. We'll be back with a halftime show right after this.
I can't believe we have to make this commercial.
It's ridiculous.
You'll think it's ridiculous too. Listen to this.
This commercial is about, well, it's about parents being rude at high school athletic events.
Ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials are quitting because of bad adult behavior.
So now there's a shortage of refs here in Idaho, in almost all sports.
No officials means no more games.
Is that what you want for us?
Come on, parents.
It's time to grow up.
Cheer for your team.
Be proud of your children.
But stop being so ridiculous.
And don't make us run another commercial.
Because we will.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association, reminding you to always practice good sportsmanship.
You've heard it before. There is no I in team, but there is an I in dairy. Dairy foods are a great source of protein, which is vital for helping rebuild and repair muscles after exercise, so your body can be at the top of its game at your next competition. So grab some milk, cheese, or yogurt after you work out, train, or play. Yes, it's true. There is no I in team, but there is an I in win. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Dear Exit Strategy, all your pieces are in place. A tranquil lake, a serene sky, an emerald forest, a secret hideout. Thanks for being there just when I need you most. Always Toyota SUVs.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Perform, refuel, recover, repeat. It's the recipe for success in any kind of sport, and dairy can be a key ingredient in every one of those steps. Dairy foods supply your body with high-quality protein to rebuild and repair muscle, carbohydrates to help you refuel, and fluid and electrolytes to help you rehydrate. So your personal recipe for greatness can be perform, win, repeat. For more help finding your greatness, visit unbottled.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process, is readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
(22-14) is your halftime score. Gooding on top of Timberlake in this quarterfinal 3A state football action. My name is Scott Burton alongside Paul Kingsbury, live at Gooding High School, and let's recap the scoring summary. In the first quarter at the 6:50 mark, it was Gooding striking first, Atkinson on a 1-yard run. That was the opening drive of the game. The 2-point conversion was good, and Gooding led 8-0. Well, then it became Timberlake's first drive of the game, and they cashed in at the 3:19 mark on a Billingsley 5-yard run. 2-point conversion also good. We were tied at 8. Well, the very next drive, Gooding scored. So it became just who was going to have the ball last, it seemed like at this point. And that was Cavett, a 24-yard run at the 11:51 mark. 2-point conversion good. 16-8 is your score. And then Gooding struck again about 7 minutes later. It was Gillette on a 1-yard run, and Gooding extended the lead 22-8 at this point. And it also looked like Gooding might have an opportunity to stretch that out and maybe start to run away with it. But a couple of turnovers doomed Gooding. They threw an interception. They turned it over on downs, which killed 2 drives that were inside Timberlake territory. And then Timberlake cashed in at the 4:02 mark of the second quarter. A Padel to Yetter 41-yard pass on just a simple out route, and Yetter turned on the jets and got to the end zone to cut the lead 22-14. And then late in that quarter, Timberlake had 2 more opportunities to get into the end zone and just couldn't get it done. Turned it over with an interception under a minute to go before the break, and that's where we stand. 22-14 is your halftime score. And we talked about this earlier, Paul, the bracket that sits before us in the 3A. And this is a very competitive bracket, and we've had many conversations about this on and off the air. What do we see happening here? There are some teams left that can play some football.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You see there was the first 3 basically play-in games. The teams that were on the bracket that got the byes, Homedale and Gooding. As we mentioned, these are going out to Max Preps rankings of the regular season. So Homedale and Gooding were 1 and 2, so no one was going to beat them as far as the rankings. So they were placed ahead. So everybody else had to play for placement on the bracket. Weiser, I was at Weiser last week for that 62-20 beatdown on Buell, and so that one was done. And then South Fremont and Kellogg in a close game, 35-20. South Fremont won. They're going to be playing at Homedale tomorrow, 1 o'clock. And then Snake River beat McCall on last Saturday, 32-0. So after those teams won, those 3 teams won, and then they reseeded everybody, placed them on the bracket, and that's how we got where we're at right now. So tonight, of course, Weiser, Snake River playing right now. Weiser is leading that one. Homedale, South Fremont is tomorrow. And Sugar Salem played last night, and they were down for quite a bit of that football game, came back and won 22-16. And so next week, if South Fremont wins, they'll probably play it at the Mini Dome at Holt. If Homedale wins, if they beat South Fremont, my guess is they'll probably play next Saturday at 1 o'clock again, because that's what Homedale likes to do. So, and here, if Timberlake wins, they're going up north.
Yeah.
Maybe. If Weiser wins, they'll probably allow the higher seed to host, more than likely. So, never mind.
There's a lot of moving parts here.
There is. And Weiser, Snake River, of course, who knows what's going to happen there. That should be a pretty good football game. You can watch that on Idaho Sports tonight. Mike Safford on the call there. He was the voice of the Boise Hawks for years and years. He's the sports information director there at College of Idaho now. And he had an open weekend, texted me and said, hey, need me? And I said yes. So that's why I'm here with you tonight.
Well, how about that?
I was going to go to Weiser. Instead, I sent him and his son PJ, and they're doing that. And I'm here. And tomorrow, you and I are going to be in Cary. So,
right.
But you're right. That 3A bracket is just so competitive this year. 3A and 4A, especially this year, is just really, really competitive. I mean, Weiser is really good this year. Homedale, good as usual. Sugar started off slow, and once they got into their conference schedule, they kind of realized they needed to pick it up a little bit, and they did, and had a good second half or good last third of their season, and that put them at that 4th ranking. And Timberlake just always seems to come down here. I went up there one year. Boy, it was cold. I think it was 2017, 16 or 17. I went up there to broadcast the game where Homedale traveled up there, and I was outside, had a table in the snow. It was cold. I actually went to Walmart and I didn't pack any cold clothes because I was going to Coeur d'Alene in late November. Why would it be cold?
Why would it be?
But I got some great cold weather gear out of that trip. So, it's going to be a fun weekend this week, and then next week the semis. Boy, it's going to be a fun week next week as well.
Yeah, if things go chalk in this 3A division, those 2 semifinal games are going to be something to watch. Not to get ahead of ourselves and to put people, into the bracket that haven't earned it yet. But like I said, if it goes chalk, Gooding, Weiser, Homedale, Sugar, you got your top 4 teams playing in the semifinal game.
That's exactly right.
That's not to say that Gooding's going to win here. They've got everything they can handle from Timberlake.
Yep.
But just the caliber of teams, and and for Timberlake coming down here out of the north, making the long trip, and on the road into the number 2 seed. This is not an easy place to play, but
no,
they have hung with Gooding in that first half. And just to kind of talk about that first half, Gooding is going to run the football. Gooding is going to just muscle it down your throat. That's what they do, and then they'll maybe go up top with a pass to Loveland or hit Loveland across the middle, something like that. And Loveland's been rather quiet in the passing game. He's done more damage in the run game.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Timberlake's ability to balance out a little Billingsley run and then go over the top where they have found success against this Gooding secondary. They've hit it a couple of times, but they've missed some opportunities in there. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens here in the second half as both coaches go in and make adjustments. But for Gooding, it's going to be controlling the clock, controlling the tempo, and getting it done on the ground, because through the air, Gooding has not done very well. They've thrown a couple of interceptions that have allowed Timberlake to stick around and stay in this. And for Timberlake, not so much happening on the ground, but over the top of that secondary is where Timberlake has found some success.
And if they can keep getting, Olivier, if they can keep getting MacArthur out in front of the defense and connect with them, this could be a completely different ball game. Because we mentioned in the first half, they're beating that defense. They are beating those safeties of Gooding by a pretty good margin. It's just getting them the football and catching it and going. There's so much speed on this Timberlake team. I think it's maybe surprising Gooding just a little bit. I'm sure their scouting report said, hey, they're fast. But until you see it in person, sometimes you just don't give it the respect that it's due. And Timberlake is coming in and showing that they've got speed, they've got talent, And, only down 8 points at halftime. It's going to be a fun second half.
Yeah, Yetter and Olivier have really shown speed for that Timberlake offense. And Olivier with a couple of interceptions on the defensive side of things.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see kind of what we do. It's always a nice chess match.
Yeah.
When you see what the adjustments are that both coaches have made, Coach Amos and Coach Anderson, both very well-respected coaches in the 3A ranks.
You're absolutely right on that.
So they have got football pedigree on their side. But we're in for a really good second half. And I think a lot of people maybe saw Gooding running away with this type of thing because, Gooding just hasn't been challenged this year. I mean, you look at their schedule. Now, this is something to keep an eye on. If Gooding gets through tonight, it's not going to get any easier for them, whether they play Weiser or Snake. And if they advance through that, whether they get whoever in the championship game, you have to look at a couple of things from Gooding, and that is look at their schedule. They come in with a record of 8-0, averaging 39 points a game, giving up just 9. The game that they had the most trouble in was the opening game against Jerome. They only won that game 14-9, and they were down 9-0 in the second half in that game. Jerome defensively had them shut down, but that was game number 1. Since then, 44-6, 48-13, 36-6, 38-12, 58-0, 30-18, 43-6.
Yeah.
What do you do when you get into the playoffs and all of a sudden somebody punches you in the mouth?
Well, you have to punch back. You can't just fall back and go, ow, that hurt. What are you doing? Do you not know who I am? You punch back.
And we have seen a lot of teams over the years just not get challenged enough during the regular season and then get into the quarters, semis, state championship game, and it's unfamiliar territory. So, not saying that's going to happen to Gooding, but it is something that's on the radar if you're watching this thing develop. For Timberlake, we mentioned it early on. Timberlake comes in with a record of 6-2. An opening week loss, first game of the season, to South Fremont. South Fremont, not a bad team, finished the season 5-4. They lost that one 27-12 at South Fremont. And then they got absolutely blitzed by 4A Lakeland, 50-0. But aside from that, it's been an impressive record here for Timberlake. All right, we are set to return to action. Gooding will kick it off to Timberlake. Timberlake won the toss, elected to defer to the second half, and here we go. Gooding moving right to left, kicking it away, and it goes out of bounds, so Timberlake will have it at the 35-yard line. We've seen a lot of those as well, kickoffs going out of bounds.
Yeah.
So I guess you can say another penalty against Gooding.
Yeah, really, it would be a penalty.
Mark it on your tally. Here we go. First down for Timberlake. First drive of the third quarter. Billingsley. The fake. The option. The toss. And ahead for 8 yards goes Cale Pasley.
Got what he needed. Made the right decision on the option, but, he only had about, 2 steps before he was out of bounds once he got the football.
But it was a good read option by Patel as he put it into the belly of Billingsley, and that's who everybody keys on.
Yep.
Tossed it out to Pasley and picked up 9. Second down and 1. 2 backs behind Patel. A little bit of misdirection, handoff, first down, Pasley again. Pasley across midfield, run out of bounds by Gillette at about the 47. So the opening drive here, Timberlake, they pick up a first down. And they are now into Gooding territory, trailing it by 1 score, 22-14, opening moments here of the third quarter. Timberlake taking their time, breaking the huddle, walking to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers to the left, and now they shift the formation. 2 into the backfield. Handoff, first man through. Billingsley, just 2 arms around the football. Keeps the legs churning down to the 40-yard line. Nice gain, give him 7. And Dakota Sage making the tackle for Gooding, but a nice chunk of yardage on first down for Timberlake.
And Weiser leads 7-0 over Snake River early in the first quarter. Man. Kind of worried about those guys upstairs. Bodies keep dropping up there.
No kidding.
As long as they don't fall through onto us.
Yeah, we're in a 2-story press box here at Gooding High School. A lot of noise and racket up above us. Handoff, Pasley. Flag comes flying in. Pasley's got the first down, but we're going to have to check the penalty. This is thrown right into the area of holding.
And there's only one Gooding player back there. So.
And it's a chop block against Timberlake. Either way, it did not look good for the offense. The penalty will go against the Tigers, and that'll take the first down off the board.
And I wasn't blaming or accusing, but Pavkov actually looked guilty. He was the one back there, and he kind of turned around and gave the 2 palms up like, what? It wasn't me. Oh, yep, wasn't me.
You're right,
I'm just going to whistle and walk away.
Point of infraction foul, so that will move the football back to midfield. 2nd down and 13 for Timberlake. Line of scrimmage right at the 50-yard line, moving left to right. One receiver to the right, and now they shift formation. Another receiver goes to the left in the slot. Handoff, Pasley, left side has room, turns the corner inside the 45, and then it's shut down immediately. Gain of about 5 on the play.
And that's actually a good play. Like you said, they shifted right at the very end, and they sent a tight end out to basically be an extra blocker. And he able to get about 3-4 yards out of that.
But another penalty against Gooding. It's going to be a 5-yard face mask against the Senators. So Gooding had the offense going backwards and now gives them 5 more, brings up 3rd down and 2. As the line of scrimmage is the Gooding 38.
I've got them with 10 penalties on the game so far.
That is way too many in a playoff game, and that's going to allow Timberlake to hang around. Handoff, Billingsley up the middle, has a first down, and then brought down by Gillette. But Billingsley, boy, big hole by that offensive line by Timberlake.
Well, Billingsley was able to fly through that first line so quickly. By the time he got to the second, he already had the first down, was able to get quite a few yards after contact, so first down and 10 from about the 32.
And a good head of steam from Billingsley going through that line, like you said. Bunch formation, and now they shift again. 2 backs behind the quarterback. Pasley, boy, nifty run and just avoiding tackles before he gets thrown down by a host of Senators. Not after a gain of 6, however, and down to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, they shift MacArthur to the side that they're going to run the football, and you saw Gooding adjust really well to it. He was able to pick up about 6 yards, but it would have been a little bit, well, it looks like 5 yards, a little bit different story had they not picked it up as well as they did.
So 2nd down and 5 from the 26-yard line of Gooding. Timberlake approaching the red zone on the opening drive here in the 3rd quarter, trying to tie this thing up. Again, another shift. Pate to throw. Gooding, not fooled, is getting in there was Colston Loveland with the sack. He came on the blitz on that right side. Nobody picked him up, and Loveland throws Patel for a loss.
Yeah, they moved the offensive player to the other side. Loveland just licked these chops and said, I got a clear path on the runway, and took him down for about a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, and I think what they tried to do was try to get Loveland to crash that right side D end with the play action, and if they got around him, there was going to be all kinds of room for Patel, but Loveland not fooled. Loss on the play of 4. It's 3rd down and 14 now. Patel to throw. And right through the fingertips of Olivier. He would have been short of the first down, but would have brought up 4th down and about 5 had he made the catch. But now, because of the incompletion, 4th down and 15.
That was a catchable football there on the sidelines. I think he just felt the presence of Phillips right behind him and tucked his arms down just a little bit right before he touched the football in anticipation of a hit that never came. And instead, the ball just went between his hands and out of bounds.
Well, let's see what Timberlake does. Looks like they're keeping the offense on the field.
I like it.
Patel to throw on 4th down. Has time, fires down the sideline into coverage, and it's picked off. And that's one for Gooding that they should just bat down because they just lost 15 yards of field position.
But it was a cool interception.
As Cavett comes away with the interception on 4th down. And that was, one of those plays that Patel wouldn't have thrown if it was any other down than 4th down. He just didn't have a choice at that point. Picked off by Gooding, and a promising drive by Timberlake to open the second half comes to a halt in Gooding territory.
And really, he's going to get rung up for an interception thrown, but it comes out kind of a win for him. Best case scenario, at least you didn't run it back, and like you mentioned, took him back 15 yards.
So from the 21, the Gooding offense under Atkinson. Atkinson hands off. A little hole for Gillette around that right side as he gets out across the 30 and gets 11 yards and a first down for Gooding.
Yeah, on that tackle was number 34, Wyatt MacArthur. Chased him down from behind. He got the first down.
Atkinson hands off. Right side again. That's Gillette. Gillette spins out of one tackle and gets close to another first down as he goes inside, over the 40. Give him 11 yards and another first down.
Yeah, 2 first downs in a row. They are just pounding that football right up the middle of the field, right into the face of Timberlake. And they're not doing much to slow him down.
And a timeout taken by Timberlake as they just got blitzed for 2 11-yard runs by Tate Gillette on that same side, and Timberlake wants to talk it over.
For over 12 years, Clover Creek Dental and Dr. McLaughlin have been providing exceptional dental care to Gooding and the surrounding area. They're now accepting new patients and can also do same-day crowns and implants. Dr. McLaughlin is great with kids and can accommodate the entire family. Clover Creek Dental, proud to support the Senators in tonight's game. Also want to thank O'Malley's. O'Malley's Sports Pub and Grill in Rathdrum is a proud supporter of Timberlake football. Open Wednesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. O'Malley's offers delectable all-you-can-eat ribs on Thursday, slow-roasted prime rib on Friday, and a full menu of other favorites such as nachos, sandwiches, and burgers. Stop in. Visit them at 13742 West Highway 53 the next time you are in Rathdrum.
Kind of made me hungry.
Yeah. Terry Eastman owns O'Malley's. Good guy. Been advertising with us a long time.
First down and 10, Gooding. From their own 42, toss, Loveland. Loveland left side, turns it upfield, cross midfield down to the 48. Gain of 9.
9-yard run by number 5.
Boy, that's close to 10. Maybe just a little bit short.
Second down and 1.
So second down and 1 opens up the playbook immensely for Gooding. And quickly to the line they go. Again, bunch formation. Loveland in motion. Hands off up the middle. First down. That's going to be Tate Gillette, I believe. And it is for a first down inside the 45. So Gooding on the move. Their opening drive here the second half. 7 minutes to go, third quarter.
Timberlake's got to figure out that interior defense. I mean, they're not running anything fancy. They're just handing it off and pounding it up the middle and getting, 8-10 yards every play.
Here's Gillette, right side, handoff. Shoestring tackle by number 34, Wyatt MacArthur, but not before Gillette picks up another good chunk on first down. Give him 7.
I think they're going to end up giving him 8. That's just
they are
a good piece of running.
Second down and short for Gooding. Now, Timberlake just got done doing this exact same thing to Gooding before they had a sack, and it ruined it all. Atkinson calls his own number right up the middle, just pushing the pile forward as the big fella. He's got a first down. Inside the 35, down to the 32.
Number 27, Rajani Olivier. First down, Gooding.
6 minutes and change to go, clock moving. More of that tight formation for Gooding in the same play. Atkinson calls his own number, runs into a wall, but somehow moves the wall about 5 yards down the field.
Curtis Atkinson on the keeper, tackled by number 9.
And they're going to give him, it looks like they're going to give him 3 yards on the play. Second down and 7.
Somebody's watching me.
He got up and standing over my shoulder. Makes me a little nervous now.
How you doing?
How you doing, huh? Atkinson out of the gun. Handoff, Gillette up the middle and swallowed up immediately at the 25-yard line. Give him about 3 yards. It'll bring up third down.
Number 57, Joel Posinger.
I haven't seen the left side of the field all night, so I thought I'd get up and look behind you and see what it'll look like.
Posinger leading the way defensively for Timberlake. Third down and a long 3 from about the 25-yard line. Snap to Atkinson. Atkinson picking his way through traffic, goes up the middle, and gets down to the 20. He should have enough for the first down. Let's check the mark. It's really close to that first down marker.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to mark him short of that first down
Wow.
by about a foot. So it's 4th down and a foot. Gooding quickly to the line. Atkinson takes it and just pushes the pile ahead for the first down. I mean, that's going to be a tough play to stop on 4th and short. I mean, I'd be curious to know, Paul, how many times Atkinson's been stopped on that. And late flag comes flying out well after the play.
Yep. Way out in the back.
Most likely a personal foul on somebody. Dead ball, personal foul, or unsportsmanlike rather, going against Timberlake. Boy, that's a huge penalty because that's going to give Gooding 1st and goal.
1st and goal, Gooding.
From about the 5 or 6 yard line. We'll call it the 6. 1st and goal, Gooding from the 6. They wind up the clock. Atkinson calls the signal. Handoff Gillette, keeps it himself, and clear path to the end zone on the read option goes Atkinson from 6 yards out.
Well, and Atkinson actually made a little bit of an athletic play there. He was about the 1 yard line and had to kind of jump up in the air and over the end zone to get in. Big man's got hops.
And Gooding will go for 2. Atkinson out of the gun, flanked to the right by Gillette. And it will be Gillette on the call. Gillette turns the corner to the end zone. No, stopped just short. It was MacArthur who made the tackle to save the 2-point conversion, and Gooding turned away on the point after, but 6 more on the board, and Gooding extends the lead 28-14.
Well, Steve's Quick Service is a proud sponsor of Gooding Athletics. Steve's Quick Service is a locally owned and operated business that proudly serves the Gooding area, offering complete auto services at competitive rates. Contact Steve's for all your automotive needs at 208-595-1213. Go Senators from Steve's Quick Service.
So 4:52 to go here, 3rd quarter action. Timberlake had a great drive to open the half, and it stalled out. They turned it over on downs in Gooding territory, and then Gooding immediately capitalized, marched it right down the field, and punched it in on a 6-yard run by Atkinson. 28-14, the Senators now have doubled up the Tigers, and Gooding will kick it off. And this one goes out of bounds. Holy cow, this one went out of bounds about 15 yards off the foot. As nobody, and it was funny because it's just the visual you get. The 2 deep men for Timberlake, they didn't even take a step. They did not even move. That thing went out of bounds so quickly.
Yeah, no reason to kick out the energy if you don't need to.
Looks like Oakley's having their way in their matchup.
Yeah.
We're checking the scores from around the state. Friday Night Flash, check it out on IdahoSports.com. Timberlake and a 1st down pass by Padel falls short. Just trying to get it out in the flat on the left side, and Padel just threw it right into the ground. So 2nd down and 10 upcoming for Timberlake. Timberlake has been down 2 scores before, and they were able to fight back to make it a 1-score game. They're going to have to do the same thing here. Down 14 with 4:49 to go, 3rd quarter. Scott Burton, Paul Kingsbury on IdahoSports.com. 2nd down and 10. Padel, 2 backs behind him. Handoff, Billingsley, first man through, breaks 1 tackle into that defensive secondary, and a nice run by Billingsley as he has a full head of steam out to the 44, short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and a yard for Timberlake. Clock is moving. 4 minutes and change to go here, 3rd quarter. Timberlake breaks the huddle, comes to the line. 3rd down and a yard from their own 44. Padel, and whistles before the snap. A false start is the call against Timberlake, and That's a big penalty because you went from 3rd and 1 in your own territory to 3rd and 6. So now the new line of scrimmage will be the 39-yard line. 3rd down and 6. Timberlake. Padel takes the snap. Handoff, turn in the corner, right side, first down. That is Grady Woodworth, who took the handoff and got out across the 45, exploited the right side of that Gooding defense, and that's something that we haven't seen a whole lot of, is the right side of that Gooding defense. They've been trying to attack the left, and Gooding has done a very nice job playing stout defense right at the point of attack. First down, Timberlake. Short of midfield, line of scrimmage, 48-yard line. 1st and 10, Timberlake, 3.5 to go, 3rd quarter. Padel shifts the formation, 2 receivers, left side, nobody here to the right. Read option, handoff, Billingsley, first man through, hit right at the line of scrimmage and dropped.
Billingsley carries the ball, tackled by number 5.
And Loveland is the guy, first one there for Gooding. They'll give him half a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Weiser still leads 7-0 in the 2nd quarter now. So holding him.
Yes, they are. Snake is giving Weiser everything they can handle through a quarter and a half so far. The number 3 seed against the 6 seed. 2nd down and 9. Padel, handoff. Around the right side again, it's going to be Woodworth. Woodworth with a nice gain into Gooding territory, run out of bounds, and the Gooding bench inside the 45. He's going to be short of the first down by about a yard, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 1 for Timberlake into Gooding territory.
But they're moving the football. They're moving the football against this defense, getting positive yards. It's a 3rd and short for them to get a first down. They're in Gooding territory. Things are in, the momentum is on the side of the Tigers right now. They just need to keep moving the football.
They've had a couple of drives stall in Gooding territory. This one 3rd down and 1 from the Gooding 43. Handoff, Billingsley. He's got the first down. He needed 1 and he got 2. So the sticks will move and a fresh set of downs for Timberlake. But they're finding another guy to contribute right now, and that's going to be Grady Woodworth, the senior, who's gotten a couple of carries on this drive and a couple of nice gains.
And Cooper Popko, he was the man there that shifted just a little bit, knowing they were going to come to that right side again and made that tackle.
First down, Timberlake from the Gooding 40. 2:15 to play here in the 3rd. Same formation. And now to pass, Padel going up top, trying to find a man, and did he catch it down there?
Oh, yeah.
He did. That is Yetter again with another remarkable catch. He was covered like a blanket by Gonzalez, but Yetter again comes down with the catch deep in Gooding territory. It's going to be first down Timberlake inside the 10 at the 9, 1st and goal. And that was all Yetter.
That was all Yetter. The nice 30-plus yard reception sets them up in scoring position.
So 1st and goal from the 9. Padel, hands up. Billingsley to the end zone, touchdown.
Oh.
And Timberlake right back in it.
Well, that was almost too easy for Billingsley. And see that 10-yard touchdown right up that right side. As we mentioned in the first half, they just kept beating the wall there on that left side. Second half, they come out and say, you know what, we're going to test this right side, and it seems to be working out for them so far.
And Billingsley with a huge hole, not even touched until he got to the goal line. And it's 28-20, and now we're going to have an extra point. The first one of the game, Olivier to hold. And the extra point is, it's good. Doing the kicking is Joseph Borges, the senior, and at the 1/3, well, let's hold the phone a minute.
Good for Timberlake.
Okay, now they're gonna make it official. So, 1:31 to go here, third quarter, 28-21 now, Gooding on top. The Senators just can't seem to shake Timberlake. They keep coming back.
I think it was just a little bit of some minor extracurricular there in the middle, or after that kick, and so the officials are kind of going over saying, hey, let's calm down, let's play a little football. Minute 31 left in the third. All of a sudden, it's a 7-point game as Timberlake refuses to go away against Gooding, and that sets up for a pretty interesting fourth quarter of play here in Gooding as the temperature is starting to drop. It's still a great night. The rain isn't falling. I think there's a little bit of rain south of us. We have Logan Green and crew in Oakley tonight. They're outside out on the deck, so yeah,
a little chilly out there.
Sucks to be them.
Yep, Ben to Oakley is, you talk about a place that's in the middle of nowhere, but God's country.
Yep.
It is gorgeous out there, and it is blue collar, tough guy.
Yep.
Country out there. You just can't help but fall in love with the area every time you go out there.
And it's one of the first places we ever webcast from back in 05 somewhere, and I had to drive out from New Plymouth, run an Ethernet cable out of a classroom window and set up a router on top of my car. It was great.
Well, the penalty after that extra point went against Gooding, and so it was assessed on the kickoff. And so Timberlake kicked off from the Gooding 45-yard line, and it goes through the end zone, I believe.
Mike Penn ran out of ink marking the tally marks for penalties tonight for Gooding.
Yeah.
I think they're about 12 to 13 now. And that's through three quarters, minute 31 left. Now they're starting off probably some of the worst field position they've had.
Yeah.
But they were able to march off, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 yards of play. Let's see what they do here. Uh-oh.
And a big hole for Atkinson through the right side, out across the 30, 35, 40, and finally brought down out across the 45 to the 47. Big gain on first down for Curtis Atkinson.
And Atkinson, he has to get up and go, now wait a minute. I'm a 5, 6, 7 yard runner here. Let's not get 20 again. I can't, I have to be here in the fourth quarter.
And he's got to be about 250 too.
Yeah.
He's just a big fella. You see that kind of build, he's usually playing linebacker or D-end or on the line, but he's playing quarterback, and he does everything for Gooding. We've got a flag as the handoff goes to Gillette, who gets about 9 yards, but let's check the penalty.
Well, everybody moved before the snap. The running back.
Yep, illegal shift is the call against Gooding, so another penalty against the Senators.
Yeah, just kind of a unneeded one. You saw him move. And there could have been a couple more that I mentioned in the first half that I saw. They just didn't call them. And that was kind of the same thing where they moved just a fraction of a second too soon.
So that is, and if you've got the one that was on the...
Yeah, I missed one before that too.
Yeah, so that unofficially, we've got Gooding for 13 penalties tonight.
Yeah. That's a lot in organized football.
57 seconds to go in the third. First down, 15 for Gooding. Atkinson out of the gun, handoff. Nope. Rips it right out of the belly of Gillette. Decided to call his own number, but runs right into big number 76, Brian Bell. And Bell makes the tackle after a gain of a couple. Second down and 13 upcoming for Gooding. Clock continues to move here in the third quarter. 30 seconds to play. Gooding to the line. They've got two receivers here to the near side. Loveland in the slot. One receiver singled up on the far side. Atkinson working out of the gun. Another read option. This time he'll call it himself right up the middle. Good read by Atkinson as he gets into Timberlake territory, close to that first down. Looks like they'll mark him about a yard short, but a huge gain to bring the third quarter to a close. And all four fingers on both sides go up as both teams know what this is. It's fourth quarter, 28-21 Gooding. We'll be back. This is IdahoSports.com.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide, yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. And I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Three quarters in the books here from Gooding High School, and we've got a good one. Gooding on top of Timberlake, 28-21 as we enter the fourth quarter, and it will be Gooding football, third down and a yard from the Timberlake 44. Snap, Atkinson, and everybody in the building knew what was coming. It was Atkinson just going to put his head down and pick up 3 yards and move the sticks for Gooding.
And he's good for, a minimum 2-3 yards a carry, sometimes more. I mean, it's just a great weapon to have back there.
Yeah, and like I said on the previous drive, I'd be interested to know how many times he'd been stopped for no yards or tackle for loss, and I would wager none. First down for Gooding from the Timberlake 41. Loveland in motion. Fake to Loveland, and Atkinson slips and loses a yard. Atkinson was calling his own number. Fake to Loveland, who was in motion from the left side. And then Atkinson tried to turn it upfield, lost his footing, and down he goes for a loss of a yard. Second down and 11 upcoming for Gooding.
And there has been moisture coming through the Magic Valley over the last few days, and when the temperature drops, that hits that dew point, and you're going to get a little bit of moisture out there on that grass and make it a little bit slippery.
Second down and 11. Tight formation. Atkinson out of the gun, read option, handoff. Gillette hit and dropped at the 40 after a gain of only 2. MacArthur leading the way, getting some help from Yetter. Good defensive play by the Tigers. Opening moments here of the fourth and final period. Gooding just can't shake Timberlake in a game that many people thought Gooding would run away with. They have been up by a couple of scores a couple of different times, but Timberlake has always fought back. 28-21. Third down and 9 now for Gooding. From the 40 of Timberlake. Loveland in motion. Sets up in the slot, left side. The defensive secondary shifts, and now there's confusion and a timeout taken by Gooding.
Parker Toyota has been serving the good folks in and around Coeur d'Alene for over 3 decades. People constantly tell them they enjoy dealing with their locally owned, no-problem dealership. With hundreds of new and used cars, you'll find the right vehicle to meet your specific needs and fit your budget as well. From small economy cars to award-winning mid and full-size sedans, SUVs, and minivans, Parker Toyota has the Tundra Tuck. It pulled the space shuttle, Scott, so it can tow your trailer or boat. Rather shop from home? Just pull up your computer and check out their new and used inventory at ParkerToyota.com. New cars, used cars, maintenance service, they do everything. Visit Parker Toyota, corner of Kathleen and Highway 95. Discover for yourself the no-problem difference.
All right. Trying to get through the broadcast all hopped up on NyQuil and Sudafed.
And copious amounts of caffeine. Let's not forget that.
So my body is a cathedral of uppers and downers, basically, 24/7.
Yeah, so was Elvis. Look how that turned out.
Yeah, he died on a toilet, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, he fell off the toilet.
Yeah. Goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I'll try
more on that later.
Yeah, exactly. God, I hope not. Third down and 9. Loveland in motion for Gooding. Handoff, Atkinson. Atkinson will turn it upfield himself. Try to move the pile. He's going to come up short, but you can tell that Gooding really wasn't looking to pick it all up. They wanted to set up a fourth down and manageable, and that's what they did. It's fourth and short now, 4th and 2, as the line of scrimmage moved inside the 35 to the 34. So Gooding to the line, 4th down and 2. And again, here we go. This has got to be Atkinson in the bunch formation, just running right up the middle, and there it is. Atkinson, first down, Gooding. Needed 2, and he got 3.
First, Atkinson keeps the ball. Talk about number 9, Dale Bosley.
I mean, you got to think about how many drives that Gooding has kept alive just on that play alone. So the sticks move. We wait till they set the chains. Line of scrimmage, the Timberlake 30. First down, Gooding. More bunch formation, more Atkinson. This time right side. Atkinson, gang tackled, at the 25.
Well, you know, Atkinson gets so many yards because by the time the defense comes to tackle him, his offensive line has already given him so much room to run that, great, he runs for 5 yards, and then they make contact, and then he gets 3 or 4 yards after contact. And so his runs are like right here. Takes the run, and another flag, of course, as I'm making my point.
False start against Gooding. Another penalty for the Senators.
5-yard penalty in the 2nd and 9.
So that'll push it back 5 yards, make it 2nd down and 9 for Gooding.
Wish we could call penalties on real Senators.
I got a few flags I'd like to throw.
Yep.
All right, 2nd down. Well, after the penalty, it'll be 8. 2nd down and 8 from the 29-yard line of Timberlake. Trips left for Atkinson. Atkinson fakes to Gillette, calls his own number again, goes right up the middle, and runs into a wall led by number 34, Wyatt MacArthur, who's been in on a lot of tackles for the Tigers. Got a little bit of help from number 55, Amari James. Short gain on the play brings up 3rd down now and about 7 for Gooding.
Make sure you check out the brackets later tonight. We'll have them updated with all the final scores and moving on. And then we'll get the time, date, location of next week's games as soon as we know them. Sometimes it takes a little while for the two teams to get that figured out.
3rd down and 8. Toss. Ooh. Gillette hit and dropped. Big play, number 44, James Billingsley. We've called his number on offense, and now he comes up with a huge defensive play and a tackle for loss. It'll be 4th and 9.
4th and 9, and Billingsley mentioned he leads the team in tackles coming in. He had about 92. Guarantee he's crossed that century mark here tonight after a big first half and another big one there. He makes tackles where you don't really notice him. You know, on the inside, he's in on the tackle. That one, you definitely noticed. He came across and laid some wood down.
Well, this is a huge play in the game. 7:25 to go. Clock is moving. 4th and 9 for Gooding. Timberlake trying to hold on down by 1 score and keep Gooding from punching it in and making that hill even tougher to climb. Atkinson to throw, going up top and deep. Down the far side, into coverage. Is it caught? No, it is incomplete. Intended for number 23. That's going to be Taylor Cavett. And it was a jump ball, and for a moment there, nobody knew if somebody had come down with it or not. It hit the turf, and Gooding turns it over on downs. And a breath of fresh air for Timberlake as they take over, only down 7. 7:08 to play.
And Olivier was the man on defense. Laid perfect pass defense, one-on-one coverage in the end zone, well-thrown football, and that could have been anybody's ball, but no, he comes up with a big stop, and Timberlake has the football down 7.
And they've got life. 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line. Billingsley and Pasley. This is Pasley. Right side, trying to turn the corner. Hit and drop. Gillette just came up and decleated him.
By number 10, Gillette.
Gain of a yard only as Gillette put the hurt on Pasley. We're under 7 minutes to go in the game. Gooding getting everything they can handle from Timberlake, who just won't go away. Second down and 9. Timberlake moving right to left, out of the gun. Option play.
Bye-bye.
And Patel is on the loose. He's into the secondary, inside the 30, the 20, and run out of bounds at about the 25-yard line, and a late penalty flag comes flying in over on that far side. And it looks like the Timberlake sideline is just jumping for joy, as it might have been a late hit. Let's check the penalty.
So a 40-plus yard run.
Personal foul and sportsmanlike against Gooding, another penalty. And this one is huge because Gooding turns it over on downs in Timberlake territory, and then just a couple of plays later, here we go. Timberlake down by 7 inside the red zone.
They went 30 to the 35, and now they're at the 15.
So 1st and 10, Timberlake from the 15-yard line of Gooding, looking to tie it up. Pasley and Billingsley in the backfield. Handoff, Billingsley. Hit by number 57 right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be Dakota Sage, but Billingsley able to manage a couple of yards on the play. 2nd down and 8. The clock moves as we approach 6 minutes to go here in the 4th and final period. Second down and 8 from the 13-yard line. Padel out of the gun, handoff, Billingsley, right side. Pyle just pushing forward. As close to the 10-yard line goes Billingsley. Atkinson in on the stop for Gooding, and it'll bring up 3rd and 5 from the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that Pyle was moving. He got stopped, and everybody came behind and just started pushing.
4 down territory here, obviously, for Timberlake.
Yeah.
3rd down and 5 from the Gooding 10-yard line. Billingsley, the lone setback, and now is joined by Pasley. Handoff, a little misdirection, and some room around that left side, shut down immediately by Gooding, as it was MacArthur, stopped by Loveland, and Loveland got out there quickly. And another penalty flag.
Yeah, it was on the hit coming around that corner. I think this one's going to be on Timberlake.
It is going against Timberlake. Finally, a flag that doesn't go against Gooding. Not knocking the officials.
No.
I'm just saying that Gooding has just made so many mistakes. And it was a holding call against Timberlake, and it is declined. There was a loss on the play of about 3 yards, and so Gooding will decline the penalty. And it will force Timberlake into a 4th down and 8 from the 12-yard line.
This is it. This might be the football game.
Padel to throw. Under pressure to the end zone. Incomplete, but another flag comes in.
Boy, and that's
this one in the offensive backfield.
He really didn't give his receiver a chance to catch it.
And it's going to go against Timberlake. Holding is the call, and they turn it over on downs. And a golden opportunity by Timberlake squanders at the 10-yard line.
You know, Timberlake was on that left hash. They've had success running on that right side here in the second half. They went for the pass on the left side of the end zone, just overthrew his receiver out of bounds. Plus, wouldn't have mattered, I guess, with the 2 back-to-back penalties. But you almost just, go with what brought you here. Try it out on the ground, see what you can get.
Well, let's see if Gooding can get out of the shadows of their own goalpost now. They've got it at their own 11-yard line.
Timberlake can't get the ball back here.
They can. They've got a full complement of timeouts.
Not anymore.
-1 there. Boy, I'm not sure that was that one may come back to get you there, but Timberlake's going to burn a timeout here.
It really gave Gooding a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
They needed it. They're pushed back deep in their own territory, and Timberlake takes a timeout. And Coach Anderson's going to take the opportunity to say, okay, don't mess up the snap. Nothing over his head, because they're so close to the end zone. I mean, how many times have we seen there's just that extra pressure when you're near the goal line? It gets in the snapper's head, it gets in the quarterback's head, where it can be low, it can be high, it goes in. All of a sudden, you've got a safety, you get the ball back. The whole tenor of the game changes at that point. And with under 5 to play, down a touchdown, things can get interesting.
Yeah, it's funny when you're backed up that deep how tight everything becomes because a mistake is times 10. Especially at this point in the game.
Right.
So 4:46 remain in regulation, 28-21. Gooding has the football, 1st and 10 from their own 11-yard line. Trying to run some clock. This is Loveland. Loveland trying to turn to the left side, breaks a tackle, and gets out across the 20, gain of 9.
He broke through about 5 tackles. The first one was Billingsley. Billingsley was the first man that he got by, and he was the last man up. He got hit pretty hard by Loveland. And just goes right back to his linebacker position. Clock runs. They're not in a hurry at all.
No, they're not. Gooding will just put this thing on the ground, and you're going to see heavy doses of Atkinson, Gillette, and probably Loveland And I'd be surprised if Gooding throws this thing at all. Atkinson, right up the middle, has some room, has the first down across the 25, and the sticks move for the Gooding Senators. And that's just what they're going to have to do to kill this clock.
Yep. And the defense really has to step up and stop them, and they haven't been able to do that effectively so far.
Under 4 minutes to go. First down and 10 for Gooding at their own 29-yard line. Gooding, for the first time all night, will huddle, and they will take their time. Timberlake has 2 timeouts that they can use, but they've got to put themselves in a situation to where they're beneficial. And they've got to win first down. Handoff. Up the middle to the 35. Goes Gillette. Gain of 6.
And that was a pile and a half down there. He actually got helped up by number 76. I like seeing that. Brian Bell of Timberlake actually helped him up, patted him on the helmet. I like seeing that. Late in the game, a lot on the line, and sportsmanship still prevails. I like that.
Well, now Brian Bell's got to hold him up before he goes down so his teammates can rip the ball out of his arms.
That's exactly right.
Under 3 minutes to go.
It's bruiser time is what they call it here, because you are getting whacked, chopped, slapped, hit, punched.
2nd and 4 from the 35. Atkinson, left side, chugs ahead, should have enough for the first down.
And you saw, the defense is coming through, winding up as he comes through, just to whack that ball down. Well, they're all Atlanta Braves fans, it looks like.
Yeah, no kidding.
And who wasn't this year? Who wasn't this year?
Oh, you're not kidding.
Yeah.
I'm a Dodger fan, and I was pulling for the Braves for
many
obvious
many
reasons.
Yep.
Take that, Commissioner.
Take that, Astros.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Cheating Astros versus
Cheaters never prosper.
Nope.
They get to the World Series, but they don't win it.
No. They wouldn't let a trash can in the building. First down and 10 for Gooding at their own 41, just trying to run the clock out. This is Loveland. Loveland, right side, out across the 45 to the 47. Gain of 6. Under 2 minutes to go now. Lakeland has got to come up with something here, or Timberlake, has to come up with something here because they are running out of time, and Gooding is just pushing the ball up the field and chewing up an incredible amount of clock.
You see Atkinson coming to the sideline, talking to Coach Anderson about, post-game meals and when they're going to get together for film, and then jogging back. Like you said, taking all sorts of time off, and that's just painful for Timberlake to just – they're helpless.
Yep, 1:20, clock continues to move. Okay, so Timberlake's got to have a stop here and then burn a timeout. Handoff, left side, close to the first down, and I think that second surge picked it up. And that is going to be Atkinson again, and the sticks move. And that should do it.
Well, I do want to remind everybody, we've got Kelly McGee here, one of the best action photographers on staff. So there'll be a great action photo gallery up on IdahoSports.com in the next day or two. So make sure you come back and check that out.
Under a minute to go. The clock is moving. A couple of knees, and Gooding will call it good as Timberlake can no longer fight the clock. But it looks like Gooding's going to burn a timeout here with 39 seconds to go. The crowd feels it. They're on their feet. They know their Gooding Senators will advance to play the winner of Weiser and Snake River. That game going on right now, and you can catch that action on IdahoSports.com.
See if we can get a quick score for you before we sign off. Of course, the IdahoSports.com player of the game coming up. The very prestigious IdahoSports.com player of the game. Weiser's up 2 touchdowns now in the third, 14-0.
14-0 Weiser in the third.
In the third, and Weiser, that's not a team you come back on easily. They're
Stout
big and strong
Yep.
on both sides of the ball. That Riley Willett on defense and linebacker, he's a beast. Willie Shirts, a great runner. A lot of weapons there for, I say Coach Harrison, but there's 2 of them on the football field tonight.
So Gooding in victory formation with 38 seconds to go. Atkinson takes a knee. The clock will run, and that should do it. But what an effort from Timberlake. Heavy underdogs. Comes into Gooding and gives the Senators a run for their money. In fact, had opportunities to tie the game, to take the lead, but just couldn't get it done. Their latest drive stalling around the 10-yard line of Gooding, and that sealed the deal, and the Senators will advance. Timberlake finishes with a record of 6-3 and will make the trek back up north.
Yeah, and that drive just a little bit longer when you're when you lost by a touchdown to a great Gooding team. Now they're moving on to winter sports.
Yep, and they knew that they blew their opportunities here because they had a shot a couple of different times. So final score, Gooding 28, Timberlake 21 in a great ball game here from Gooding High School. We'll take a quick break and be right back with the post-game show, including our IdahoSports.com player of the game right after this.
A hit in the morning, another between class, after school, and more before bed. Vaping sucks you in quick. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems everyone's talking about. That's why thousands of teens are ready to take back their life their own way with My Life, My Quit. When you sign up with us, you'll get a free and simple quit plan that makes it easier to stop vaping. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Dear Detour, you took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up. So yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong, Toyota trucks.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. And I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Post-game show, Scott Burton, Paul Kingsbury from Gooding High School in a quarterfinal matchup. That was a little bit of a surprise to everybody because Gooding found themselves with their backs against the wall a couple of different times in this game. Timberlake just could not get over that hump. Had the opportunities, but eventually they fall. Gooding prevails. Final score 28-21. Recapping the scoring really quick in the first quarter, it was Atkinson at the 6:50 mark with a 1-yard run, 8-0 Gooding. Timberlake answers right back. Billingsley with a 5-yard run, and we're tied at 8. We move to the second quarter, and it was a 24-yard run by Cavett from Gooding, and the Senators back out on top 16-8. And then this is where Gooding looked like they might run away with it. Gillette on a 1-yard run at the 4:21 mark of the second quarter, and Gooding is up 22-8. With a couple of opportunities, Gooding had to punch it in again and go up by 3 scores. Timberlake defensively held, got the ball back, and then it was a pass. Padel to Yetter, 41 yards, and we're right back to a 1-score game. Well, we come out of the third quarter, and a 6-yard run by Atkinson at the 4:52 mark, and Gooding is up 28-14, back to a 2-score game. But Timberlake would not go away. Billingsley, a 9-yard run, cuts it to 28-21, and then in that fourth quarter, it was back and forth with a couple of opportunities for Timberlake to punch it in, to tie the game and perhaps take the lead with just a couple of minutes to go, but their drive stalled out at the 10-yard line, and Gooding took over and ran out the clock. So the only thing we've got left to do is to talk about our IdahoSports.com player of the game, and it was a short discussion off air.
It was pretty short. Number 15, Curtis Atkinson, the quarterback, senior. The guy just, you can't stop him. I mean, he can throw, he can pass, and when he doesn't run, I said he can throw and pass, didn't I? He can run and he can pass, and he just serves as a decoy as well. I mean, he's just one of those cogs in this Senator machine that makes it go round and round. He's just a big guy. You can't tackle him, and he's smart on the field. Just the perfect guy for this team with everything they have, and they're going to miss him when he goes. But hopefully they've got him for 2 more games if you're a Senator fan, semifinals and the championship. But we'll talk about that in a sec. But congratulations to Mr. Atkinson, our IdahoSports.com player of the game.
Well, good segue into the brackets for 3A as they are starting to take a little bit of shape. Yesterday, Sugar Salem punched their ticket to the semifinal. They will await the winner of Homedale and South Fremont. That game tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. And Gooding, they advance, so you can pencil them into the semifinal. They will take on either Weiser or Snake River. That game happening right now, and right now it's Weiser on top 14-0 in the third.
Yep.
And we talked about this. You may have heard us say it, that Weiser, you give them a 14-point advantage. That's a tough team to come back on. Yep. So, if things play out the way they should, Gooding and Weiser next weekend, Sugar and either Homedale or South Fremont. But make sure you check back and see the brackets and the locations and the times, as there is a lot to be decided over the course of the weekend once all these games are complete. But for now, Gooding, as we know, will play in the state semifinal. Well, Paul, it was a good one.
It was.
And we get to do it all again tomorrow as we will trek up to Cary and cover a little 1A D2 action.
8-man football, nothing better.
Nothing like it. Well, this has been an IdahoSports.com Game Streams production of the 2021 Idaho State Football Tournament. Tournament coverage presented by the Idaho Division of Public Health, your local Toyota dealer, Valley-wide Co-op and country stores, and Project Filter. Stop smoking, start living. And we'd also like to thank our local advertisers that came on board tonight, Paul, and they include
Steve's Quick Service, Parker Toyota, Super One Foods, O'Malley's, and of course our post-game sponsor, Clover Creek Dental. For over 12 years, Clover Creek Dental and Dr. McLaughlin have been providing exceptional dental care to Gooding and the surrounding area. They're now accepting new patients and can also do the same-day crowns and implants. Dr. McLaughlin is great with kids and can accommodate the entire family. Clover Creek Dental, proud to support the Senators in tonight's game, and is, again, our post-game sponsor.
All right, well, congratulations again to Curtis Atkinson, our IdahoSports.com player of the game. And thanks for joining us as the Gooding Senators defeat the Timberlake Tigers by a score of 28-21. Well, for my broadcast partner, Paul Kingsbury, and everyone else behind the scenes here at IdahoSports.com, my name is Scott Burton. Thanks for joining us, and so long, everybody.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com Game Streams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of IdahoSports.com is strictly prohibited.